What do you think of Santa Claus? A good way to direct children's imaginations toward the saints? Or a distraction from the actual meaning of Advent and Christmas?
Should I reveal my secret identity or keep it under wraps?
Keep it under wraps.
All right. I'm not going to tell you the terrible truth, ladies and gentlemen. All I know is I'm probably going to catch cold again on Christmas Eve. Anyway. Well, I'll tell you. I grew up with Santa, but it was always kind of clear in the background that it was St. Nicholas. And, you know, I love the whole mythology of the North Pole and the elves and Santa's workshop and all that. Oddly enough, my dad never told us about Mrs. Santa because it was clear that as a part-time saint and bishop, there wouldn't be a Mrs. Santa. But, you know, we got to get this equality thing in.
Yeah.
And if Santa can't be a transvestite, the next best thing is giving him a wife. Anyway. We have 3 genders in this state.
Yeah, male, female, and non-binary.
That's right. So, another Christmas gift from the Jesuit in Sacramento. Anyway. They were marvelous, you know. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas for children should be a time of enchantment, where the impossible, the seemingly impossible happens. Why, you might ask? Well, as we said earlier about crimes and punishments, life really is enchanted. The Mass, if that's not enchantment, I don't know what is. Bread and wine turning to God himself. The communion of saints, the intercession of the saints with God, the existence of angels, the miraculous properties of relics, certain shrines, Marian apparitions. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world of enchantment. The problem is that we don't notice it because the world we live in does its best to cover it up, to hide it. But Christmas is the one time of the year where even the disgusting society we live in has to accept the truth for a very short period. It does its best to disguise it, calls it holiday, builds up this culture of Christmas without Christ. But even there, it just can't do it. When I was old enough to stop believing in Santa, I was 32. What? Well, no, where do you think student loans came from?
Student loans?
Yeah, they come from Santa Claus.
How does that work?
Well, where do you think they come from? All right, stop and think. You know how you think, oh, well, it's government money.
Yeah.
Okay, now where does government money come from?
They print it.
Santa Claus.
Okay.
No, that's not where government money comes from.
Oh, sorry.
It comes from taxes.
Ah, that's right.
Who pays taxes?
We do?
Well, a small minority, but yes.
Yeah.
A small minority of us pay taxes.
Uh-huh.
They're the ones the money comes from. Okay.
Okay.
But if I think the way most people do, I think, oh, the government just prints it out.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in Santa.
Ah, okay.
See, that's my whole thing. Well, gee, why don't they just give me more money? Well, see, it's a finite quantity. It just, I mean, if you just print up a lot, then it's worth less.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I did not intend for a lesson on economics. But suffice to say, in some ways, we never give up believing in Santa, especially when it comes to the government. But, seriously, when I came of age, my dad, I said to my dad, so Santa isn't real. I was miffed. And he said, yes, he is. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I told you about St. Nicholas. He certainly is real. And the spirit of Santa Claus is real. Of giving. Of doing things without asking for any reward for them. Of helping your neighbor because your neighbor should be helped and not because you're going to get something out of it.
Mm.
That is the true spirit of Santa Claus. That is the spirit of St. Nicholas. Hence his rescuing the 3 girls from the life of infamy and the various other miracles he committed he performed rather, are so often bound up with freely giving to others without any hope of return. And in that sense, Santa Claus is very real. But you have to be Santa. Don't expect anyone else to be for you. It's nice when they are. All those bottles of Louis XIII brandy my fans have been sending in, thanks. But, no, seriously, you have to be willing yourself to be Santa and not to expect anyone else, not to expect it out of anyone else. And be grateful when it happens, because it will. But don't expect it. And similarly, again, Christmas is a time of enchantment. And if we allow ourselves to be enchanted by our faith, by the daily miracles we encounter, and the other daily miracles, I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, your family, your friends, everyone whose company you enjoy, it's a miracle that you know them. Because you see, we are such fallen creatures, we are so selfish, that we don't deserve any of it. And yet we are given these marvelous and incredible things by the giver of gifts. And he's referred that way, liturgically in some of the Eastern rites, as he who loves mankind, the giver of gifts, the land of the living, the realms of endless day. Enchantment, really, ladies and gentlemen, is when a chink in the wall between us and him opens up a little. And for just a moment, this world of sins and shadows that we live in is illumined. And enjoy that. Whether it's a little child ripping open his gifts on Christmas Day with every fiber of his being, or scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. Whatever it might be, enjoy it. It's a gift to you. Be grateful. And if there's anything, ladies and gentlemen, that Santa Claus should teach us, really, apart from giving ourselves, it is gratitude. If you're grateful, you'll be happy. And if you're unhappy, it's because you're ungrateful.